Greetings, fellow shower door people. Welcome back to another Wednesday evening, another episode of the Shower Door Professionals here on Zoom. You are welcome to join us here in the Zoom room. Just click on the link there in the description. It's got all of the pertinent information in there, including the passcode. They ask you for that. Robots these days, When I was a kid, robots were manageable. Nowadays they're like literally taking over the world. Right, Rob? That's right. That's right. I was watching this thing on AI. Some man, if you watch like those what the young people call it now, YouTube videos. Like every day, there's like an update on what AI is up to, man. It's pretty spooky, man. I was watching one today.
My son-in-law was watching one where they were, profiling these people. They figured out they were pre-arresting him from AI.
Pre-crime, right?
Yeah. They figured they're going to commit the crime and they arrested him.
Oh, yeah.
So I told my wife, I said, I wish I knew this happened when I got married. I could figure out what you're going to do now and I could nip it in the bud.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that. That's a good
Yeah. She about hit
I think AI even can figure out a woman.
Right. Good luck with that.
Did I say that out loud?
So look at that. Immediately off topic. It took me 1 minute.
Good work.
So that's, ADD at work. Anyway, hope you're having a great week out there. Welcome to the Shower Door Professionals. I see Babatunde is out there. Man, he must have insomnia or something. So, but welcome, glad you're here. What's going on out there, man? I'm sure I'm missing something. Anybody got some news that I haven't heard about?
Have you guys heard of a company called Future Glass Hardware?
Yeah, I've seen that.
You seen that?
They're down in LA someplace, I think.
Yeah. So
Future Glass?
Future Glass Hardware, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying that they have their hinges are like portals. They glue them in place for you. And my sales rep just heard about them from one of the glass guru guys. And so I looked it up, and it seems pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody used them or what. If you have any thoughts or anything.
I brought a set of them into the shop and I mic'd them. They're the same thickness as FHC. They're about a 16th thinner than US Horizons. I don't particularly like them when they have the gasket glued in place because a lot of times we have to change out gaskets from a thicker to a thinner to align it with the fixed panel. And that's just kind of pigeonholes you into having to use what they give you.
All right.
Yeah, they came by our shop. There was actually a rep who showed up, but the options seemed kind of limited. I wasn't sure why we would bother. The other one I've been seeing is Sam Hardware. We've been getting emails from them. I haven't looked at anything. The prices are unbelievable. Anybody seen Sam?
What's it called?
SAM.
No.
Yeah, I think I got an email from that company last week. I didn't look too far into it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been approached by some of these Chinese companies directly. You guys ever get your stuff from there? I know all of it comes from there, but you guys deal with them directly?
All the time. I'm always getting messages and texts to my phone or
yeah, they
emails.
Yeah, they message me and go, "What's your name?" I go, "My name is Juan Garcia." I don't get my real name. So end up with some weird ass package that blows up in front of my house.
Be stalking you. Those are like shower door groupies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of them. They pop up in the group too. I'm like, oh god.
There they are again. They always want
Yeah.
like some kind of a memento, or whatever. Want to grab one of your hinges or something.
Tell them I already use your guys' freaking hinges. I just buy it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, speaking of that, so Glass Fab now is starting to offer hardware. I'm sure they've given you the pitch,
Yeah.
They always have.
Adrian. 'Cause I know that you like do a lot of business with Glass Fab.
Yeah, they got the.
They've been doing that for a while.
Have you guys seen? Have you checked out the store yet, Chris?
On
Online?
their website or whatever.
Yeah, they got one. Yeah. Have you checked it
Yeah,
out? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
yeah, I'm taking a look at it. I'll probably give it a shot. Just check it out and see. That's convenient because they'll drop off hardware and save on the shipping, and they're saying they'll deliver it overnight or whatever. So I haven't tried it yet, but looking at the website, and they don't have like everything, so
No.
it's kind of hard to order like part of your hardware from them and then the rest of it someplace else. So I'm waiting for when I've got like an order that they can fulfill, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
No, they have the package deal. They've offered that for a while.
the glass and hardware and whatever.
Yeah, and if they do need it, they can just run through Union City and pick it up too. The drivers can get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also doing storefront now too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Do you do much storefront, Tim?
A little bit. Nothing. I used to do a lot and I got out of it. So if somebody wants a single door or door in a sidelight, I'll do it. But I got out of the major stuff.
Does anybody else do storefront still? I know, right? We still do. Does anybody else?
Any storefront? I liked storefront. I mean, I cut my teeth on it. That's really what I started out doing. But
Did
it's
I?
like you have to be like all tooled up for it, right? I mean, and that's the great thing about doing shower doors is you just get all the tools together for doing that, and you don't have to carry a bunch of extra stuff. But when you get onto a storefront, I mean, there's no telling what you might need.
You basically gotta have a whole truck dedicated for storefront and shower doors. It's not the same. It's
Right. Exactly.
It's a whole different ballgame doing storefront.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and stuff's heavy,
Yeah.
dirty.
I
You
got
get dirt like under your fingernails and stuff.
Oh.
Sucks, man.
And you forget to put the latex gloves on before you touch the rubber gasket and you're hand in your mouth. Oh. That's one taste you don't forget about. Oh, that's nasty.
I know. I mean, it's like I'd have to wear like my work clothes to go to work.
Yeah.
I like some small commercial interior when possible. We just finished installing the CRL Fallbrook. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a pretty cool looking hardware for, again, like a commercial. We did these offices. So there were 4 door and panels, and it's just really low profile hardware. We're thinking about using it for wine rooms too.
Fallbrook.
Fallbrook.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea for wine rooms because people like to see a little bit of metal, but not the big bulky, Lego set that storefront is.
Yeah.
The other cool thing that Fallbrook does, we use the we used 1/2-inch glass and 3/8 door, and just the metal went around the outside and around the door frame. But they also have a version, it's called XL, and you can do insulated units instead of just monolithic glass. So thinking about that too. Yeah. Those projects don't come along every day for us. So We just have to keep it in our toolbox.
Mhm. Right. So yeah. So if you could do insulated, then that would be great for a wine room, right?
Mhm.
You could still stay indoors, and
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling.
We did a weird gym area underneath some people's porch, and we kept waiting for days and days to be able to go out there to caulk so it'd be dry enough. And I'm like, I'm not used to scheduling like this. We're indoor people. Crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm muted. Absolutely. You're here. I agree.
Well, Shannon, you ought to tell us a little bit about your trip you just came back from.
Oh God, it was so bizarre. It's not glass related, so I wasn't me, I was someone else. So long story short, I was on a reality TV show that is, they call it the, shoot, I can't remember, this reality TV show where entrepreneurs go and they learn about business. Well, startups specifically go learn about business and participate in this competition, and it's all filmed for a reality TV show. It's called The Blocks, BLOX. We're season 14, and it's for startups. So I was with my friend who has a flower distribution company. She brings in flour from Italy and then sells it online. So I was Shannon with Manny's Choice. I called myself the Good Gluten Ambassador and tried to help her win this thing. We were not into it enough to win. There were people who were hardcore and they studied and, yeah, they really worked hard at it. And we were not cool enough to win. There were a couple of people that were from a horse ranch, and tall, beautiful women who wear their rodeo outfits. And then there was another woman, her company was called Empower Erotica, and I'll just leave it at that. We were way too normal, so we're there in the middle. But my friend made a lot of connections. So that's that.
Nice. That
You can
sounds like
sell
an
flowers to power erotica.
not that kind of flowers. It's flour like you make dough out of.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys feel like checking it out, if you feel like you could, qualify for startup phase, we've been in business way too long. But yeah, if you're startup glass shop, the Blocks, they're taking applications for probably a season like 16 or something now.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
It was
Where do we
an
find it
experience.
online?
They play the episodes through Prime Video, but it's a paid thing. I used to think that Prime was all free, but no, it's a paid version of Prime.
Even the paid, yeah, it's like even the part you pay for doesn't include everything. It's weird.
Right, because
Amazon,
you do pay a fee. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, it's weird how it used to be. You got like a subscription to it and like whatever they had you could see. Now it's like tiered or something.
Oh, I remember they call it The Apprentice meets Shark Tank. That's their play.
Apprentice meets.
So instead of you're fired, you're eaten by sharks.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it meant, but sure. I don't want to give anything away. You gotta watch.
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
eaten by sharks. Nice. All right. Well, we're off to quite a start here. mm,
Well,
trying to
Chris,
think of,
I do have to say that the meeting last week was great, having, the 310 tempering guy there.
oh yeah, Greg.
Yeah, yeah, and that was pretty cool. So just kudos to you for being able to line him up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. And I was thinking about that, and like your questions were really good. I mean, you kind of like you had some like pretty tough questions, which was really cool. And I could tell that he appreciated that, and because that was really the reason he came on, was to to address stuff like that. So thanks for bringing that, it's pretty cool. I know he enjoyed it a lot, and after the call, he sent me a text or an email or something. It's just thank me again, and all of us, just for our support.
Well, it's an impressive place. I didn't really get to go through any tour, but I did pop over there on my way up north because I was going through Louisville about a year ago, and I wanted to check it out. And so I didn't really get the grand tour or anything, but I got to talk to some folks that you would talk to when you call in, and I got to get to know them a little bit. And that was neat. So.
Yeah.
They speak very highly of them because they do a lot with all the employees every year. I think they go to one of the horse races, and I guess the Kentucky Derby. I don't keep up with that, so I don't know what all they are, but they have some of that bourbon. They do some custom blends just for the employees, which is kind of cool. So, but anyway. So what else, guys?
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting what Shannon was talking about, working with that new system. I'm wondering if anybody else has tried something new.
I have
Yeah, what?
the FHC. I feel like I said this before, so stop me if I have, but it's the Aspire. They it's like a storefront, but sexier, to not look like a storefront. So it's completely trimmed in these low profile. You can pick the bottom rail. It's either 2, 4, 6, maybe 8, and the side rails are very narrow. But the cool thing about it is it's thermally broken. And what an awesome sales feature, because in the wine rooms, when you're doing the insulated units, you can't have it. People think, I want a frameless one and I want to insulate it. And you got to go through that whole exercise of explaining why you can't do that. And this application, we just recently did a job, believe it or not. I'm just gonna do a humble brag here for Papa John, but FHC sent the sales rep out. It was the first time we sold this. We kind of enclosed their lanai because he wanted a thermally broken unit, and they had it. And I think I'm gonna put one in my showroom. I mean, it's nice. And the few customers that I talk to about this, when they come in, a lot of these we do just on a wall. They're not even chilled. They're just kind of more like a trophy case. But when every now and then we get people that come in that you can just tell they're wine collectors. And they're very concerned about that. And they don't want it sweating. I'm like, well, we got to go insulated. And even furthermore, we need to be thermally broken metals. And I explained that to them. And there's the 3 or 4 other people they might pop in to see that are in our area that we compete with. They're not talking like that. And so the price kind of disappears when they don't help protect their investment. And when I explain the thermally broken to them, it just makes sense. But it's a good looking unit. It's sexy. It's not your typical squared off storefront. There's some shapes to it and skinny profile. on the vertical, they slide down this like mohair. So you don't have to worry about gaskets. So like I had a panel, door, panel, conceal closer up top. Everything was like a 2-part channel all the way around. You know, we set the doors just like a Herculate door. And oh man, it was sexy.
Wow.
And the 2 brushes just fit together. You don't have to worry about the tape and the bubble gaskets. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. We were
Pete?
actually looking for something like that like 2 years ago in Vegas. And Paul Daniel said, it's coming. There's something coming. And the following year it came out. And then boom, I think we were like the first one to sell one for them. And it was just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's called Aspire.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that compare to the Fallbrook?
I wish we could put a picture up here. Sure. I
You
don't know what
can.
that
You-
is.
I
My
mean,
laptop died.
okay. Well, maybe
So I'm on
maybe
my,
I could
I'm
find
on
it
my
real quick.
phone. I just wrote it down, so I'm gonna look it up tomorrow. I hadn't heard of it, but maybe if I see it, I'd recognize it. I am not aware of another thermally broken unit. Is that unit thermally broken?
I believe the door is not. I think it's only for the panels.
Okay. Yeah. It was it's just, I don't even know that it's necessary. I mean, we got a couple hundred chilled wine cellars and none of them are thermally broken. They haven't sweat, but from a, when you're trying to add something that's different than your competitor, they go to this 3 people and everybody says the same thing. This is just one of those value adds, I think, that just adds a little bit more cred. Oh, yeah, you know what? That might, is there, oh, that's the Aspire.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what you're talking about.
Yeah. And let me tell you, we did it in a polished stainless. Imagine that looks like a different, that's a bad angle. There, that's a cut section of it. The vertical style is actually really narrow.
Yeah, I can see that.
The doors come to you pre-glazed. And then the panels, it's just like putting together a 2-part. It's actually easier than a 2-part storefront. And it's all mechanically fastened too. That's what I like. Nothing's snapping in or you having to squeeze it in. It's all mechanically fastened together. I mean, it's solid. It's a solid. I was expecting a piece of shit, to be honest with you. It's solid. I would sell it again in a heartbeat. Yeah. Nice product. And again, the thermally broken just adds another dimension. Like it's good, but it even sounds even better.
Mhm.
So
now, Shannon, you were talking of the Fallbrook. What you were talking about, is that CRL product?
yeah. Oh, she just put it in the thing.
Yeah.
See if you can open it.
Did she? Okay, let's see here. See what we got here. Well, there's a photo.
You're muted.
Yeah, it's in the chat, and that's the thinner one that has the 1/2-inch glass. But if you use the other one with the again with the IGs, it's got the same door, but it's just got thicker hardware holding everything else, just so that it can be big enough to hold the width of the IGs.
That's an IG door?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying.
I like this. I like this unit. These are cool. I've never used this one, but is that a barrel hinge on those doors or?
Yeah, and you can get locking or not. Yeah, so that's where I'm saying. So this one right here has got the 1/2-inch. It's the standard Fallbrook. When you do they call it Fallbrook XL. It's just got thicker metal surrounding it, but it's got the same door, so you still use a 1/2-inch or 3/8 door. So that's the only piece that's kind of missing to get a full, insulated wine room.
Shannon, are those side profiles small? Are they only like inch and a half, maybe?
It's, yeah, about that.
Man, that almost looks sexier to me if people wanted those grids for the showers. I mean,
Mm.
man, you could wrap that because then you don't see the hinges. You could just wrap the door with the channeling and everything else. You know, you put the applied metal on it. That thing's
Yeah.
sexy.
It was beautiful. So
Yeah.
it's one of my contractors that was building out his office. And I saw this as we were planning out his office, and I drastically reduced the price because he's one of my favorites. I said, you have to have this. And we went back a couple days at a time because there were 4 offices in a conference room. And every day he was calling me saying, this looks so good. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Like day after day after day. It was so amazing. I love it.
Yeah, this is a completely different unit, but I like this. I would
Just
sell
keep
this.
on scrolling down and you'll see the grid one. So
Yeah,
that
there you go.
includes insulated units.
Man.
But again, the door looks like it's still just the monolithic glass.
Yeah, you don't have to kind of Mickey Mouse around. I mean, I see a lot of guys that post pictures in this group with the framing of the doors, and I'm amazed. You know, like if you told me you're gonna do it, I'm like, that's gonna look like shit. They look good. I haven't ever actually assembled one of those, but that's got to be. I mean, everything's got to be so square. It's got to be a pain in the ass.
Mm.
This seems like it. Do you think that you could use that in a wet environment?
I think so. Well, not wet. Did you say wet or wine?
Wet.
No.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
No, it's not really designed for a wet environment at all. No, we had a guy asking us about it. I'm like, no,
Is it aluminum?
it is. Yeah, it's
So
extruded
you could wet.
aluminum.
Maybe you could wet glaze the inside of it instead of the rubber gasket.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try
Let me
it.
know how it goes.
I'm gonna try it.
Probably won't stand up to a window.
Try it. What's the
I'm
worst that
down
could
with-
happen, you know? They get sweat. Some water on
Yeah. We get some of these people are like, this is what we want. No one's ever gonna use it, but that's what we want. I'm like, okay, perfect. I don't even have to caulk it.
Yeah, I'll put some pictures up when we get the final pictures from the contractor's office. It was still a wreck when we were done.
Very nice. Cool. Well, that's something to think about.
Shannon, when you were doing the layout for everything, because you mentioned it came from CRL, so did you just send them like your drawing with with the measurements, like specs, just like normal, and they did everything else, or how did that work?
Well, the type A person that I am, what I did was I sent them the drawings of one office and had them return to me what I needed for the one office. And then I looked up each and every part and, calculated how many lengths I would need, put it all on a spreadsheet, thought about, they come in 144-inch lengths. So thought about what I would cut where, and I actually ended up finding a couple of things that they were missing on their list, which CRL has done to me before on some railings. So I planned the hell out of this thing, and it turned out good. And hopefully I can not have to go to that extent on the next one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't ordered like any specific material like this from CRL. Most of our stuff just comes straight through Oldcastle, which is basically CRL. And then we've gotten some stuff from FHC, and they're pretty good as far as doing all the calculations and stuff of materials and all that stuff. But I was just curious because I haven't done anything with them yet, so good to know. You're hired.
Yeah, let me know. I'll send you my Excel spreadsheet.
Right.
We also, since we hadn't done it before, we went out. There were, like I said, 4 offices and a conference room and a little side light. When we did the first office, we put it all together on the walls and everything, because you're supposed to be able to, you bring it in from the back, it's open, and then you put the clip and the everything around it. But it was physically impossible to put all of the pieces together while it was on the wall. So we started the whole thing, ran into where it wasn't going any farther, took the whole thing down and had to put it together on the floor and then tip it up. So we ended up realizing the next ones, we'd just build it at the shop and then bring it out, put it up. We also waited until the very end. I was too afraid to try and calculate deductions and everything. So we waited and installed all the hardware and then did the measurements for the glass and then produced the glass, which is a whole lot easier. We let the shop know that they were supposed to, stop everything when they got our measurements and get it going so that we could have it right away. But yeah, that's another thing. We could build it at the shop next time, calculate all the glass and then bring it all out as one, which I think is what the real glaziers do, when they're doing storefronts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it the same way. Yeah, we did one not too long ago. Well, our first and only like commercial style wine room, and that's basically what we did. Yeah, we just built the frame. I ordered the door from Oldcastle that came already set with the hinges and everything mounted, and then had to do a little finessing to make everything work. But yeah, and then we just ordered the glass after the frame was up. It just seemed a little easier that way too.
Yeah, I mean, the more that you can put together in the shop, the better, right? It's easier, it's more comfortable to work, in the shop. You can work right there with a table at working height. All of your tools are right there. So the more that you can put together, it's always been my philosophy: do everything you can in the shop, and then have minimal amount of fabrication when you're on the job site. And then, the first time you ever work with a system, it's always like that, right? You're just kind of feeling your way around with it and figuring out what the pitfalls are. And you want to, exercise caution. It would take, you figure it's going to take you a little longer the first time anyway, because there's a learning curve. And yeah, that seems smart. Why take any chances? You can put it all together, then figure out what the glass sizes are. You're the one fabricating the glass anyway, right? So you can probably do it pretty quick.
Yeah, my ops manager was just itching to put it together in the shop and get it all done. And I'm just scary cat. Like, no, if we do them and there's something we don't know and we did it wrong, I mean, it took like 6 weeks to get the hardware in, all the different parts. There were some back orders. I'm like, if I understand it'd be nicer, it'd be easier, but I'm scared.
Are there a lot of parts?
There's quite a few. I don't know, not too bad. It's an erector set. It's actually kind of fun.
More than just a shower enclosure, right? A lot more parts, sure.
Well, I had a question if we have another topic.
Yeah, we're definitely at a lull right here. So it could be a good place to throw in a question.
Does anyone do any commission or referral fees or something for like tile shops and plumbing stores and other places that have surfaces? I've got a couple of people that are saying, "Oh, we'd love to refer you," but then some of my friends in other who deal with them in other areas say, "Yeah, you're not getting anything out of them unless you pay them some sort of referral or commission." So is anyone doing that? If so, how much? How do you track it? What do you do?
We tried it. It's an accounting nightmare, and you're almost spending more time trying to figure out how to give somebody $200 than go out and sell another shower. That's been, we tried it, and it becomes almost more trouble than it's worth in my mind.
I get that. Anybody else?
What we set up with one of my contractors is, we'll normally, I mean, typically we're always subcontracted anyways, dealing with a contractor or sometimes even the designer. So we'll give them a certain cost and then they'll just mark it up like, $200 or $300 or whatever. And then I just have a tally off to the side, and then, when he gets to a certain point, I'll give him one at cost or something like that, or we'll work it out. But it's no actual like commission based or like percentage or anything. It's just a flat rate.
Our contractors get a better price than homeowners, but this is more of a situation where the homeowner is in like a tile store or a plumbing store, and they say, do you know where I could go to get a glass door? Where do I do that? And so they just, they're not involved in the project or anything. They say, go try this.
Mm-hmm.
We've had these conversations before, and because I've thought the same thing, Shannon, but it's always a nightmare. The money part's a nightmare. And I remember Bill Dobman saying that, they don't do it, and that, I think he was saying the same thing I do, and that is trade leads as much as you can. Like if you can give them leads and just say, I just want you to give me leads, but if you come up with a system, I'm interested in knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
giving
I'm
them
wondering-
leads wouldn't work. There's too many of them. I want all of their business, but can't divvy out my business.
But I wonder if they would give you a finder's fee if you sent them work. Does it work both ways?
No.
Shannon, one
No.
thing we did is when we redid our
Probably not.
showroom, we went to a tile shop, and that was our way to kind of refer. If people came into our showroom, we could say, hey, we got our tile down the street. And then we put a couple showers in their tile shop, and they just, referred us to business. I think that's a good way to do it if you were able to kind of reciprocate and not worry about dollars and cents.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we had like 14 displays in Floor and Decor in their Highlands Ranch and Arvada shops. And then they shut the whole thing down. Their GM came in and said, I'm sorry, but I have to have you guys rip all your glass out. And what had happened is they were referring their customers to contractors. And one contractor took like a $10,000 deposit and headed for the hills. So this customer went back and sued Floor and Decor, saying, I wouldn't be out the money if you didn't refer me to these guys. So there's a little bit of a liability issue there too. Things that I would have never even thought about, and then it opened my eyes to it.
Wow, yeah, that's something I wouldn't have thought of. Can you be held liable for referring somebody? Probably not legally, but if someone decides to sue you, whether you're liable or not, what are you going to do? What's your insurance company going to do? Your insurance company is probably going to settle.
Yeah, I'm sure all these big corporate companies, they just say, we don't want to deal with these headaches across the country with people, frivolously suing us for. It's almost like a headache that they just didn't even want to deal with.
I realized that if somebody is only willing to refer your company, if you are truly a top-notch company in your area, if they're only willing to refer you in lieu of money, they're not a high-level service provider. Because I guarantee everybody on this call knows if one of your builders calls and there's a mistake or something, you're jumping out there and alleviating that headache off that customer for the builder or designer, whoever referred you, is priceless. And if your barrier to entry to get in is to pay them a vig on each job, that they don't care about the customer, they only care about themselves. The best people that refer us in here have been people we struck up relationships with, And they trust us that when a customer comes in, we're gonna handle it and it's not gonna be a headache for them.
Mhm.
And that means a lot. I think anybody that truly cares about customer service, that's the most important part, because actually really referring people, it's like giving advice. There's really not a lot of upside, right? Like if I refer Chris and he knocks it out of the park, okay, they're happy. They're not calling me and saying, thanks for that awesome referral. But if Chris drops the ball and shows up an hour late and stepped in dog shit and walked through the tile floor,
Yeah.
they're gonna chew my ass out, maybe even leave a bad Google review. And it's almost like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's just, yeah. And then the accounting nightmare, if a person is, again, buried entry is $200 for a thing, you don't even have the job done yet. Where's my money? Where's my money? It's like, is that somebody you want to do business with that's really hounding you like a bookie for $200 from a referral? It's just, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
I love it. Totally.
There's a computer program, someone brought it to our attention recently, where it's like a third party referral thing. Like they sign into this and it tracks through there. But again, it's like there's a lot of effort into monitoring that and doing it. I think you're better off spending time looking for somebody that appreciates the level of service that you're willing to put out to a customer. Especially, I wonder what it's like everywhere else on this call, but here, there's not a lot of people getting into the skilled trades. So like for the first time in my 20-year career, I almost feel like we're becoming more of a very important commodity. And all the good builders recognize that. Like we don't discount for any of our builders because they know like, shit, I've already tried everybody else and I don't trust them. I want you, and I'm willing, money's secondary. I don't want you pissing off my customers, ruining my tile. Showers are one of the last things that are installed. So it's usually, you got to be on point. Customers are fed up by this time. So you also got to be like a psychiatrist while we're out there. And so, those are all those intangibles that if somebody's asking you for a referral, they're not even aware of these things. So it's like, is that somebody you really want to do business with? I know how tempting it is though, because we did do it. I'm speaking from experience. Like we did do the referral thing. And my mother wanted to like kill us boys because, we got a couple people and they're hounding, where's my check? Where's my check? And she's like, this job isn't even done. Fire that cuss. Like it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Hey Keith, speaking of finding skilled labor, because I think we're all in the same boat. I have a couple guys that were in law enforcement, and that has seemed to be a great source for us because they're disciplined, they're professional, they show up on time, which means 10 minutes early. It raises the boats of everybody else.
And they're used to being treated like shit, so they can get handled these customers.
Exactly. I mean, they're like, oh, an upset customer.
Yeah,
it doesn't even ruffle their feathers. So like, I didn't get shot at. I didn't have to break down a door. I didn't get yelled at for pulling somebody over, and they're hard workers. It's been great, and they make more here than they did in law enforcement.
Yeah, that's smart. That's, what, that's like, I talk about this with Jay all the time, situational awareness. There's a sector where it's it's an important job, but thankless job. People are fleeing those. And you're right. They already have all the kind of intangible assets that you need to be a high level service provider. So that's smart.
Yeah. We have a good buddy who runs SWAT out here, and he had somebody he worked with who was looking for a job, brought him in, and I'm like, how come I never thought about this before? And it's turned out great.
Dad used to hire the firefighter, the ones that everybody liked, because they would work a 24-hour shift, a day off, and then like a 48-hour shift, and then 5 days off. So on their days off, they would have like another full-time job. Which was great. The problem is when they had opportunities for overtime,
they took
because in our little town, that meant they're getting paid a lot of money to sit around and play cards. And I don't blame them, But you know what it's like having to call your customers and reschedule with them, been waiting 3 weeks. That's a nightmare. So, you know, I wouldn't say they're not good to hire. They're really great. You just have to be aware of those potential dynamics. But I like the police officers. That's a good one.
Or if they get called out on a strike team and they're gone for a week.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Fires.
Yeah, don't
You know
want them
what?
during fire season, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what we did was we did a campaign 2 months ago that it landed us like 4 really good installers. And instead of advocating or advertising for installers wanted, we did content creators that will be installing heavy glass frameless shower enclosures. And it really attracted a bunch of younger people that wanted to work around a toolbox, but they wanted to showcase their work. And, it actually, 2 of these kids have really taken it to heart, and it's doing an amazing amount of advertising for that, but they're building a name for themselves. Like, they're proud of their work, they're showcasing it. And the real cool thing about that is knowing that they're gonna showcase it, they're taking a lot more time. Plus the Google review, because they're getting paid on that. So like every one of their jobs is perfect. It's almost too perfect because they're taking a lot of time. But the customers love it. They love it. And like I said, it attracted some young talent. It was actually a pretty cool campaign.
Yeah, I don't mind
Because as
guys
a content
taking
creator, you're always looking for your next piece of content. Well, they're installing shower doors every day.
Yeah.
So there's something to do every day.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
ideal. That's ideal. Yeah, as I was gonna say, I don't mind guys taking a little extra time. It's like when guys like when I get a call and it's like, oh, they didn't put on the bottom sweep or whatever on the door or whatever, it's some little thing, and like I'm the shop boy. So I'm the guy who like goes out and puts the bottom sweep on, it's like, because I'm not gonna, pay somebody to do it. And it's like, you get paid by the hour, spend another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna
I
be
agree.
mad at you because you took a little extra time to make the job perfect. I'll never be mad at somebody.
A little extra time is good.
A little extra time.
There's a fine line though. You don't want an hour and a half of install and 2 hours of filming. There's a fine line there.
Right, for sure. But yeah, I mean, but that extra post, like that social media post, especially if they're, like younger guys, whatever. I mean, they know how to do it. They know what.
One of them had a TikTok that went off for like 500,000 views, and it was with Sprayway. And I said, listen, you do this for a year, you could have your own shop TikTok on the bottom. You could be selling the drill bits, the Sprayway. Like there's so many legs that come to that, but they're bringing attention to the business, and it's always in a positive manner because it's on their platform and they don't want to be embarrassed. They're not going to put a piece of shit on there, because it's under, they're proud of it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Do any of you guys, do you have your crews fill out post-install forms after the job's installed?
Oh, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we found that's also a good way to, have them sign off on it, because they're doing a post-install saying it's complete with a picture, notes, and then they sign it. So it's like, yeah, this was my work.
Yep.
We do have, like, they have an iPad, and they take photo, before and after photos, and then they have the customer sign off like right on the iPad. So it's not really a report, but it's something that shows.
Yeah. I like
complete.
that.
Yeah, that's almost better in front of the customer, because they're showing them, hey, this is what it is, and you don't want to have a customer looking at it questioning a silicone job or something.
Yeah, and it's great having that, the customer just signing off, scribbling their thing on the iPad. It's like, okay, I know for sure that they inspected it, and it's, we can move this on to collecting the final payment, whatever. I like it. It's nice.
What I missed that last part. What so was that on the follow up or what were you guys
It is. Oh, it's this is actually called Workup, another product that GCS has for so the installers have being on the iPad. It's pretty cool. It's like all the documents are right there. It's the cut sheets on there. Usually, the measure guy, which is me, take a photo, before photo, and then put any notes in there that need to be, things that need to be considered. So they've got that all on their iPad, and they also like clock in, so it gets their travel time, their job done, and then the invoices on there, so that when they're done, they can get the customer to sign off on it, and then take photos. It's pretty cool. So everything's right there. So all of I use Showers Online. So all of those documents are in there. All the hardware, all of the drawings, everything, cut sheets, so there should be no questions. As long as, I've done my job right and put, all the information in there that they need. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you know, is it compatible with Smart Glazer?
No, this is a proprietary GCS software. So GCS is like, well, I mean, one thing that GCS really excels at are these systems, the software systems. And there's like there are several different things. There's not only follow up, but there's Workup, which is kind of invoicing system, CRM system. And then there's Price Up, which is, a pricing thing. And that's just getting really finalized to the app stage of it, to where it's like, we're just right in those last stages. I see Rob's like, yeah. It's been a long haul.
We're almost there. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
No, that Workup sounds pretty cool because that's something that we're struggling with right now, and mainly just the guys, getting them to take pictures before and after, and just sending it either to me just so I have just the backup, because we've had a few of them lately that have not necessarily gone sideways. I've got one guy that's trying to skip out on a bill, but that has nothing to do with us doing it wrong, but just having the backup more so on my side, showing that things have been installed the way they're supposed to and stuff like that. It's just no, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Smart.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't know who it was because I'm driving right now, but somebody was saying, does Smart Glazer have that capability? We use Smart Glazer, and they do through the quote set. So anytime you put a quote or a work order together, it automatically goes to the quote set. And if you have your installers linked to Google Calendar, they can use their iPad to pull it up. It goes right to that quote set where they can see the measure, the cut sheets, and all of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gotcha. Well, I just meant more for like the sign off part, like to have like once the guys are done, they can take the picture, have the customer come and inspect it, and then basically sign off, and then even do payment, right there on the spot too. Because that's one thing I like right now with Smart Glazers. Like in the mornings, before they head out, I'll send all of my invoices out because what they're supposed to do today or that day. And then that way, when the guys are done, they just say, "Hey, just check your email. The invoice is there if you want to go ahead and get it paid." And then they have a copy of the invoice with them. But
yeah, we take pictures and we do the sign off. We've created our own templates, but we just do it on an app, Notability. So if you use iPads, you can use it because it's an Apple centric app. But you can take pictures, you can draw notes, and you can create templates, and then just do a sign off. And that's what we use. It's a $9 app, and it gets the job done.
There you go.
Oh,
And
cool. Okay.
Cameron, you can also upload those invoices to that quote set on Google Drive or OneDrive. I think it does both, or either one that you prefer. And our guys can just click the link in the Google Calendar on their visit, they can go into the Google Drive folder, and then the invoice is right there, and then you can click to pay the balance on the bottom of that. And so the customer sees our guys on an iPad each time at the end of the visit.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit up Smart Glazer to get some more info on that.
Yeah. Feel free to reach out to me as well. I can see if I can help with that. I don't know if you have to enable something special, but I'm happy to help if I can. We use Google Forms to do install notes, and it's conditional. So if for any reason something didn't go in, we have like a conditional form set that says, okay, it didn't go in, then you have a whole set of different questions, like why didn't that go in? Now take a picture of this, and where's the hardware, where's the glass, you know? Or if it did go in, take a photo, send the photo to the office, whatever. So that's been good too. Google Forms is a great free resource.
Nice.
Yeah, that's sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Many ways to skin them cats if you're into skinning cats. What else? We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
What can be done in 3 minutes?
I have one more thing.
All right.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. We sent our office manager and receptionist up to Britt and Tilson Glass in Asheville. So shout out to Ellie Britt Cobble, who works in their office and works with our receptionist to show her follow-up software and show her some other things and how they work up there, and give her some more context. So that was really cool. So thank you, Billy, for that. And I think our receptionist is really excited about follow-up, which is great. And I want to know if that's something we could use in conjunction with Smart Toolbox without too much redundancy. And I think we like the way the phone system works. And I just didn't know if anybody uses both.
Okay.
I don't know
Christina,
if it uses both of the systems, but I know the whole point of follow-up, and what I love about Kelly is ever since she started using follow-up, she hit the ground running, asking questions, using in her process, training everyone else, and then constantly asking those questions about when we take these steps, we want to eliminate the double data entry we're doing over here, or triple data entry. So we always looked at what integrations, what outside APIs we can use to constantly reduce that. For Brian too on the car, anyone that's a follow-up user, always look at every step in their process, and we try to meet often to talk about how to take away double data entry in every single thing they do outside of follow-up in every part of their lives, because there's so much of it being done across the board, and it's unnecessary, regardless if you use follow-up or anything else. If you use follow-up, I'm in your process helping you with it, but all the tools are out there to stop making the office staff type something twice if it's already been done once, especially if the customer entered the information themselves in a basic form or in a long one. All the information was captured. Nobody should ever have to ask that information again, or put it into the other software when it moves to QuickBooks or this app or that app or this app. Because most of the time, every single one of the apps you use has some type of email that gets sent out or form that can be inputted that can eliminate, that can trigger off of different steps in your process to always make the systems talk back and forth. Even if it's just a basic way, we can at least make it do what you need to do, and then someone can manually step in if we can't automate the entire thing. So yeah, I totally love to explore that with you with that software, seeing what your dashboard looks like and what the steps look like, what goes out, and then what we can put back in. But yeah, that's always fun for me. Those are my jams.
That's his favorite thing.
Yeah, sorry,
do
that's
it
my
for me
rebel.
all the time. Make my stuff talk to each other, man. I'm lazy.
You mean you did the same thing twice? No.
I want to do all this
right now.
button pushing, you know? Push this button and push down. Man, all this clicking around and stuff.
Well, I think it's really just that our phone system is separate from Smart Builder, and that is what is bothering. And Smart Builder just came out with the capability of texting within their system, but I think we'd have to change our phone number or something like that, and I'm not willing to do that. So that's kind of where I'm a little stuck. So yeah, we'll talk, Rob. Thank you.
Totally.
Awesome.
We can port numbers, forward numbers, and work with any system you have going on. Some people just port it to their outside IVR system that talks and has their own office desk that they've hired. So we just kind of figure out how to route it through and just make sure it goes through follow up in some way so it can be recorded. Because if it's recorded, then it's also in that same thread where your emails, messages with every other channel, you have text messages that every person in the company talked to them about. So whenever the question comes up a week later, a month later, a year later about what was said, done, signed, you just go look in their follow-up thread and you see everything about it. There's no question. You hear every phone call and you see every detail. And you, in the activity thread, you get to see every page they visited, when they visited, what they signed, when they signed it, what IP address came from. So it kind of eliminates all the whole back and forth of you said, he said, she said, we did, they did, out the window.
Yep, that's it, man. No hiding. No hiding. All right, well, that pretty much covers it. I think we did pretty good. Thanks for hanging in there with me today.
All right.
And have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday.